going on, guys? Shane here with Vince the Anomaly.
What's up, guys? Today we are going to be covering the concept of stapling your opponent on the ground, whether it be stapling his whole body down or just stapling different appendages to the ground. It's a great thing to use whether you're doing purely jiu-jitsu or wrestling, but definitely for MMA.
Cool. Let's take a look at stapling.
So we're going to look at how to staple our opponent to the ground. Now, when you think of a staple, exactly, it's that motion where you're just locked and loaded, boom, you're pinning something to the ground. Usually there's 1 point in, 1 point in, and whatever's in the middle is just stuck. So let's actually get a nice visualization of that. Cool. Shane, on your back, please. Yep. We're going to staple his arm to the ground. So if his arm's on this side, we're going to move into this position where my knee goes over the top and my toes are still stuck to the ground on this side. So notice a staple, right? I've got 2 points of control here on the outside of his arm, and obviously I'll be putting a lot of pressure and weight on top of Shane, but his arm is pretty pinned. Okay, so once it's stapled like this, there's a few good things with that. One, obviously I'm keeping his arm down so he can't defend as well. Two, I also know where Shane can and can't move. Obviously, if I have Shane's arm stapled down right here, try to turn that way. It's not going to work. So he has to come into me. So Shane starts to turn in. Now I know he's moving in, right? So let's say I like to go for darces. If I staple Shane's arm down and I back up right here, Shane turns in because that's the only way he can. And now I stuff the head and start locking in my darce. You know, it's a really good option here to use that staple to know, you know, what the next step and the next step after that is going to be, because you're really controlling where your opponent's going to be.
Yeah. It's a scary position to be in, too. Just one arm completely not being able to be used. Yeah. It's tough.
It is tough. And it's one thing that you can use to control just different parts of the body. So let's say, again, Shane, on your back, please. Let's say I'm passing guard here, and I've got this knee over the top, and Shane's defending, but I've kind of stapled it down. Now notice, I can't put my knee and my foot down at the same time unless my leg's a lot bigger than Shane's, but all of that weight and pressure is down on the leg. Okay, so Shane, try to really move your leg around. Not working. Yeah. Especially once I move from here towards his knee, where I've got way more leverage and more weight on that, it's just going to be almost impossible for Shane to move it. So again, this is another concept of stapling. I can staple this way. Let's say I staple with this leg instead. I can use that to keep his leg down so I can backstep and pass. I can even staple his head down by getting a nice cross face as I've got my shoulder on Shane and I'm putting heavy, heavy pressure. Now I know he's kind of pinned there to the ground. So this concept, you know, it works well in a lot of different positions, knee on belly, whatever it is. It's really like you can look for ways to staple your opponent down, and even against the wall too. Yeah. I mean, just with your head position, with your foot, your hip positioning, you can be stapling an appendage to the wall in order to control where they're going to move and where you can move to.
Not to mention painful, very uncomfortable too, especially the inside of the thigh, which is a very tender spot, very tender area. So when you're digging the shin bone into that, it hurts. And then your attention's on that, and you're worried about that. And then meanwhile, he's advancing to another position or he's ground and pounding. Yeah, use the staple. That is tough. All right, guys, there you have it. Just another tool for the arsenal. And I love the word staple too. It creates a great visual to really like pin on either side of the limb to keep them down so that they ain't moving. There you go, guys. Practice it and make sure you follow Vince's Instagram. Link is in the description below. Until then, I'm Shane.
I'm Vince.
Fight tips for the underdogs.